It is appalling, and every mother and father who care about their child need to listen to this story.
A disturbed parent demanding answers about a stranger who was found sitting in her child's daycare. Good evening, everybody. I'm Keith Koontz.
I'm Ann Nyberg. A Hamden mother is telling News 8 investigators this stranger, a man, has been interacting with children on several occasions. She took video of him with her cell phone and asked us to get some answers on this.
News 8 investigator Erin Logan joins us live in studio tonight with what she found out. Erin.
Keith and Ann, when we got an answer for this parent and others at the Sleeping Giant daycare, they were shocked. We talked to the state agency who oversees daycares, and they say people who you may consider strangers can be in the classroom a number of times without background checks. As she holds her 4-year-old daughter's hand tight, Carol Anderson hesitates whether or not to let it go as she drops her off to daycare. But she says she and others don't have a choice.
A lot of them are single parents.
In other words, this daycare is affordable. Inside Hamden's Keefe Community Center is Sleeping Giant Daycare, which is state subsidized. So Carol says she's put up with a problem that is starting to scare her. In this video she shot with her cell phone, she says this man in green sitting down interacting with the kids is not an employee. So when she asked the program director and instructors, all she was told was,
He's allowed to sit in here. I've known him for over 20 years. He comes to my house to eat.
Not exactly what Anderson expected to hear.
Are you allowed to bring people who are not employed by the state to work in this state-funded daycare and just sit around our children without a background check?
We asked that question to the Office of Early Childhood in Hartford.
Anybody who volunteers in a program and is there for 12 or more times throughout the year are required to have a background check.
Just to clarify, we asked Communications Director Diana Lajardi a second time.
You have to come at least 12 times before there's a background check?
Before a background check is required.
If I'm an instructor, am I allowed to just bring a friend into my classroom to sit there and observe?
We would have to, again, look at the different cases, and we do look at things on a case-by-case basis.
Lajardi says their agency is investigating and can't comment on this case, but assures parents they are now doing random annual checks on daycares to make sure kids are well taken care of.
Obviously, anybody who's not a staff member should not be left alone with the child unattended.
Ever?
Ever.
We want to be clear there's no evidence that the mystery man was ever alone with children. We requested any closed complaints that were filed or investigating at Sleeping Giant in the last 2.5 years. There were 8 complaints ranging from understaffing to staff administering medications while not qualified to do so. Also, in June 2012, News 8 reported this story where a teacher there was caught by cell phone verbally harassing a 3-year-old boy that brought him to tears.
Why don't you do it now, tough guy?
That teacher no longer works there following an internal investigation. In this case, since July 16th, we've made several calls to the daycare, only to be told each time that the director, Edie Reichard, was not there. On Tuesday, July 29th, I received a call from lawyer Lou Federici. He told me he would be answering questions on behalf of the daycare. We asked if this mystery man, who we're told is named Tony, is allowed to be in the classroom. He said Tony used to be a custodian there a number of years ago. We asked Federici if he and Reichard would take a look at the video. They said no, and they have no comment. So we stopped by the daycare to give Reichard another chance to look.
Excuse me, Edie. We're with Channel 8. We've been trying to call you to show you this video. We need to know who's in this video.
She never turned around and kept walking.
But we just asked if you could show us who's in the video. That's all. There's parents that are concerned.
After getting the answer that no state law was likely violated here, Anderson had this to say.
It is appalling.
Now, Anderson is on a mission to get other parents to call state lawmakers and make sure they take another look at the law. If you'd like to take a look at the state regulations on who's allowed in daycares or the complaints filed against Sleeping Giant, just go to our website, WTNH.com. Live in the studio, Erin Logan, News 8.
Erin, thank you. If you have something you think needs to be investigated, give a call to the News 8 investigators at the number on your screen. It's area code 203-402-TIPS. That's TIP and an 8. And again, to see Erin's full story once again and get more information on state regulations, you can head right over to WTNH.com and click on the Investigators tab.